Ajit Ranade, you are of the view that the collapse of Pakistan is not good for India. Explain that to Sushant Sareen, who said he'd rather just let his enemy drown, sit back and have popcorn.
Well, Rahul, Ukraine has a population of something like 42 million. Already the refugees in different parts of Europe, including Germany, are far in excess of, I think, 1 or 2 million, much more than the Syrian refugee crisis, which was some time back. And it's a big, big concern and growing concern. Now, Pakistan has 232 million people. And often when we talk about Pakistan, we tend to treat it as if it's one kind of, the word Pakistan as if it has one identity. We need to distinguish between the government, the military, the elites, as Hamid Mir also mentioned, and the people of Pakistan. That's one. Secondly, Pakistan, I think, is undergoing 4 mega crises, which all have come at the same time, which is unprecedented. There is the climate crisis, where 1/3 of the country was underwater, and even to this day, something like 5 million children are near, stagnant or without water. They're not only in danger of disease, but actually survival. You have the climate crisis, then you have the economic crisis, as various speakers have said, the foreign exchange down to less than $3 billion. India's, by the way, is 600 billion by comparison, and inflation running at 50%, and debt is 60 trillion rupees. Debt has gone up by 2,000%. 20 times in the last 20 years. 1/4 of it is just in last 1 year. That's the economic crisis. The third is the terrorism crisis, because the pro-Taliban elements in Pakistani society feel emboldened by the government next door in Afghanistan, and they feel they have a great chance of taking over, even though our friend from Pakistan said it's fringe elements. But that's the third. We hear about terrorist incidents all the time. And the fourth is a political crisis. A dismissed government. Imran Khan has been disallowed to stand for election or hold elected office for the next 5 years. There is a talk of his imminent arrest. 2 provincial governments were close to being toppled. So political crisis, economic crisis, climate crisis, and terrorism crisis, all at the same time and of unprecedented magnitude. Now, you think, India can't just sit next to, this. I'm just talking about the fact that we have 231 million people next door. We give, there's 2 ways of looking at it, an instrumental view and a humanitarian view. We have given aid to Sri Lanka, we have given aid to Syria, we are giving aid to Turkey, and this is people to people. We have, by the way, invited Pakistan to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization meetings in May. This is an invitation that went from our foreign minister to their foreign minister. So I think we need to, that's the instrumental view, that if we don't do something, we may have a huge refugee crisis on our border. But there's also a humanitarian view. Let me also say that India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka is one unique region in the world where 95% of our foreign trade goes to regions outside our region. No other region in the world has this kind of a distinction. There is so much scope. They say that India-Pakistan trade, which goes through Dubai, is roughly $10 to $15 billion and growing. But I think we have to take a little more pragmatic view. It is going to be in our interest. What do we lose by offering humanitarian aid? What's the downside? I think we need to distinguish between Pakistani people.
Okay, Sushant Sareen, we have nothing to lose. As the big brother, you have a big heart. Pakistan is likely going to reject it. The foreign minister, we saw how she reacted. That's how the prime minister and the army could react as well. And this is not a normal situation. There are 4 different kinds of crisis: climate, economic, terrorism and political. We helped Syria, which is so far away and is a basket case by itself. We've invited Pakistan to the SCO. Therefore, there's no harm in playing the Bada Bhai and at least offering to help.
Number one, I think you should have all received your comeuppance from what the Pakistani on your show said. And I don't know why you are still insisting on it. Somebody doesn't want your help, but you want to give it. Number one. Number two, you are asking what's the harm in giving it. And my question is, what do you get out of it? Nothing. Number three, Mr. Ranade seems to think that the people of Pakistan can be distinguished from the state of Pakistan. Does he have any empirical information on what the people of Pakistan think about the people of India? And which is why brings me to Mr. Jakhar, that Mr. Jakhar, his heart is flowing with the milk of human kindness and humanitarianism, and he is feeling for the people across the border. The day those guys get a chance, people like Mr. Jakhar, who's a Hindu from Punjab, is the first one who's get his neck chopped off. So I think we should be very careful about what we wish for. I really wish before people start talking about Pakistan, they would read up on Pakistan a lot more than what they do. Just reading up a couple of newspapers from India is not enough to understand what is happening inside Pakistan, what the psyche of the people is out there. Number 3, and I think this is very important, we keep talking about, you know, the Taliban have got emboldened. Who emboldened the Taliban? Did I embolden them? Or did the Pakistan army and the Pakistani state, their current defense minister, their current prime minister, even today their foreign minister, Bilawal Bhutto, have been saying that no, the Taliban are good people, it's only the Pakistani Taliban who are bad people. They're part and parcel of the same whole. And yet you want me to distinguish it? These are the guys who raised them. These are the guys who armed them. These are the guys who gave them sanctuary. Now if they're biting them back, what should I do? Why should I go and risk my resources, my people, all of that? I should build bigger walls, better walls on my border. I should have more capacity to go inside and beat the hell out of them if they try and cross over. And please don't give me this thing that the Pakistanis will simply fold up. If the Pakistanis are interested in saving themselves, then they will fight it. Why should I fight it for them? Are they any well disposed to with me, even with all their problem? You heard this Pakistani. But I can show you a whole lot of other Pakistanis who will spew all sorts of venom on India right now. Number 1. Number 2, have they changed any of their policies? Whether it is on Khalistan, they are still instigating violence in Punjab. Whether it is pushing in drugs in Punjab, they are still doing it. Is Mr. Jakhar telling me that this is happening without the support of the Pakistani state, which his heart is so bleeding for that he wants to go and help these guys?